So first and foremost, YouTube University, learn everything you need for free online, right? After that, try to get like some sales under your belt, just like to prove the concept to yourself, whether that's like RA at Walmart clearance aisle or, Nike or Adidas. Just try to get something sold, like anything, just to prove the concept that it works and you can make money and it's like feasible. And then after that, you got to make a social media and start like networking with other people. Because when I first started, I didn't find like any leads in the first month. I was literally just buying things that my like network was just sending.
E-commerce is the greatest business opportunity of our generation.
What is going on, people? Welcome to the Ecom Unlimited podcast. It is your host, Kaja, here with Josh and Sadeq. Today, we are going to be interviewing Sadeq, talking about how he got into e-commerce, into Amazon, how he scaled his business, and he's going to share the sauce with you guys. So thanks for tuning in. And we are very excited for this episode. So Sadeq, how you doing, brother?
Good, bro. Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for making time to chop it up with us. So let's just start at the beginning. Take us back to how you first got into selling stuff online.
Yep. So my name's Sadeq. I'm 20 years old. I started selling things online when I was 16. I was doing sneaker reselling, just to like StockX, Goat, and eBay. I did that for about 2 years, built up a decent bankroll, and then a bunch of my friends in like the sneaker industry, they were moving to Amazon, and I just hopped on that wave with them right around August of 2022. So I'm 20 months deep at this point.
Oh, wow. So you're still fresh.
Yeah.
So you said you started with sneaker reselling, and how did that translate to Amazon? You still doing sneakers? You pivot away from sneakers? What does it look like now?
Yeah, I still have some sneakers in my catalog. It's all over the place nowadays. But I mean, that's initially what taught me OA, because I was buying what's called bricks, so like non-hype sneakers, and I was selling them for a profit on StockX, Goat, and eBay. So it's the same strategies of couponing, discount codes, waiting for site-wide sales, cashback extensions, all that. So I was basically doing arbitrage on different platforms.
Got it. Okay. So the skill set was already there, and
Yeah.
then you just translated that into a different platform.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. So then once you started focusing on Amazon and you're doing more online arbitrage, how did you learn how to source things that weren't sneakers?
Yeah, so I just did like a lot of reverse sourcing, and like keep a product finder is really how I found other categories. So people who were selling shoes and had shoes in their catalog, I was looking at maybe they had groceries, or maybe they had beauty items or home and kitchen in their catalog as well. And I just went down the rabbit hole of, going through SellerAmp backend or like Keepa, and trying to figure out, or like trying to reverse engineer where they got it from.
Now, how did you go about doing that? Like, where did you learn about Keep a Product Finder and like reverse sourcing and all that stuff?
All YouTube for the most part. So I was doing like straight YouTube University for like the first, I want to say like 4 or 5 months, and then I hopped in like the FBA roadmap with Miles Warner.
Nice.
Yeah.
And now, I'm guessing you went through that whole roadmap with them. What did you feel like was like a vital lesson going through that roadmap? What did that really show you?
Yeah, it was good. Like there was a lot of info in there in terms of like sourcing, hiring a team for like VAs or whatever. Like Warner's entire VA write-up is literally what I used to hire my VA. She's a rock star, by the way. I've had her for 15 months now. She's amazing.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I pulled that from there, and then like certain like reverse sourcing and keep methods that are in there. That's what I used to translate to Amazon.
That's really cool. Now, like, what has your revenue been like over the years? Now we're 20 months deep, so technically, I guess you're on your second year here. But what was like your first year like, and how did your revenue, maybe by month, you could break it down, kind of increase over time?
Yeah, so I did like 10K. So I started in August of 2022. I did 10K the first month, and it was right around there for like the next 3 months, because I was still focusing on the eBay and StockX and Goat business at the time. It was more of like a fourth platform to say for me, and I didn't really realize how powerful it was until December of 2022. I basically did, I think, 15K in revenue, which is not a ton, right? But I did it in like 3 or 4 days, and I was completely sold out for the rest of the month. I'm like, okay, let me take a step back here and, try to go deeper into this Amazon stuff.
Absolutely.
And then real quick on that, because you said that's what you did on Amazon. Do you have an idea of what you did total between all of the platforms?
In December or like total?
Yeah, in those first couple months, because you said you did 10K on Amazon. Were you also doing a similar volume on eBay and StockX?
Yeah, probably like 30 or 40K all in.
Okay, yeah. See,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
nice.
those are still good numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now, are you currently still doing shoes, or have you kind of moved on from shoes?
So I moved on, and then I recently started it back because I have a little sister, and I realized I could just teach her how to do this and run it for me. So that's what she's doing now. So I have a little bit of shoes. I probably sell like 90 to 100 a month on StockX Go and eBay still.
Nice, nice. Now, how old's your sister?
She's 13.
Oh, wow, that's fun. That's a cool
Yeah.
little project. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, she gets learn a little bit about business, and I put some extra money in her pocket every month. Like if I was 13 and I had that opportunity, I would be like the happiest kid on the planet because I was just selling candy in the 8th grade halls back then.
Dude, that's such
That's
good
great.
skills to have too, because they translate so well to like the real world and all that kind of stuff too.
100%. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit more about that time period where you were selling multi-channel, because obviously, you know, Amazon's the biggest player in the e-commerce space right now. But I think
Yep.
it's really important for people who are selling on Amazon to also think about how they can go multi-channel. So how did you manage multi-channel sales at that point? Or was it
Yeah,
just kind of like flying by the seat of your pants?
no, I was all over the place. There's definitely softwares to like help you now. I think there's one called like List Perfectly that's for like Macari, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, StockX Go. Like there's software now, but back then it's like I was just trying to run it as best as I could.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. What were the returns like with all of those
There are
doing
none.
FBA? No.
There
Okay.
there are none on StockX Go and eBay.
Got it. Okay. So it's just the Amazon returns. And were you doing FBM mainly or FBA?
When I started,
Yeah.
I was mainly FBA, and then I heard like the FBM chatter or whatever, so I hopped on that for like most of 2023.
What is like the one piece of advice or a big piece of advice you would give to someone who's starting out, they're looking to do online arbitrage, but they aren't coming from a reselling background? Because someone like, right, had a super smooth transition, already
Mhm.
had the skill set, understood how reselling works. But for someone who's never really dabbled in that, they didn't sell candy in the hallways when they were in school, right? Like what's your tip for that person getting started in reselling?
Yeah, so first and foremost, YouTube University, learn everything you need for free online, right? After that, try to get like some sales under your belt just like to prove the concept to yourself, whether that's like RA at Walmart clearance aisle or Nike or Adidas. Just try to get something sold, like anything, just to prove the concept that it works and you can make money and it's like feasible. And then after that, you got to make a social media and start like networking with other people. Because when I first started, um, I didn't find like any leads in the first month. I was literally just buying things that my like network was just sending me.
How did those listings, like, did it perform well? A lot of people sometimes will get in these like networks and they'll be like massive, and then they'll buy something and with hopes of selling it with a profit. And then next thing you know, the price tanks. Was there a lot of that in the group back then, or was it pretty stable, or was it really like small knit?
No, it was really tight knit, and we all came from like the sneaker reselling background, so that was
Cool.
helpful. So like I'm like 99% sure they all worked out fine.
That's awesome. Yeah. Because a lot of beginners can just get sucked into these like really big groups where they just start throwing around ASINs that are profitable. And then
Yeah.
next thing you know, by the time they get them, they're pretty much toast, which that happens and that's cool.
Yep.
Obviously, some people sold them for a profit. Other people will probably take a loss and some will break even. But again, that's just something that we see. And it's cool that you had that small knit group that allows you to get comfortable with, buying stuff, sending it to Amazon, all that kind of stuff. Now, are you still doing all OA, or have you kind of split into like, have you dabbled in wholesale at all, or any interest in brand direct at all?
I'm all OA right now. There is definitely
Okay.
some interest in wholesale and brand direct. I bought Corey Gannon's wholesale challenge as well. He's the man.
Nice.
Learned a lot there, but it's like that was in January, and then in February I spent like 90K on OA. Like there's just so much opportunity still, and
Yeah.
I think there's still so much ground that covers. That's why I haven't moved on yet.
Nice. Nice. And that's awesome. Now, are you still only at, we kind of talked about like you had a VA, you've had it for a really long time. How long do you just have one VA? Do you have multiple VAs? Talk to us a little bit about like your VA structure.
Yeah, it's just one VA right now. I initially hired her as a sourcer when I was doing like 20K a month. So we weren't exactly finding the leads we wanted because I probably didn't have the best skill set built up at that point. So I transitioned her to admin VA a couple months in, and that was like the best decision ever. She handles like all of my seller board cost of goods input, sorting my emails, managing my invoices, account health, uh, always like really hectic with like tracking down every single order. She does all of that on my master buy sheet. She does my prep center receiving sheet. She handles everything. And then recently, maybe like in the last 6 months, we noticed she had a ton of time left over throughout the day. So we got her back on OA. And now it's like I wake up with all my admin tasks done and then maybe 5 to 10 like solid leads because she knows what we like to buy now.
That's incredible. And then that's what you want. I mean, that's just a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about like capital. A lot of people use credit cards. Some people raise money. Some people borrow money from relatives. How did you go about, fixing or raising capital to put in your business?
Yeah, I was using straight cash for like the first 8 or 9 months because I just didn't know any better of like the crazy limits from business credit. I didn't get any Amazon loan offers. So that's how like the first 8 months went, I want to say. And then I got up to like 45K in revenue to that point. And then eventually I got like the Amex Business Blue and the Business Plum. And then from there, it was like pretty much over. I went from like the 45K to 100K in like 4 months or 3 months.
That's really cool. Are those the only two cards you use right now?
No, I have I recently got the Ink Premier.
Nice.
Yeah, that one. And then the Ink Unlimited, which is a 0% APR.
Do you plan to ever take like an Amazon loan out, or do you think just strictly credit cards will be good for you?
I think cards are fine. Like I have very good limits, so I just want to balance that out for now. And
Awesome.
I reinvest all the money, or yeah, like most of the money, and I just pay myself with cash back.
Okay, so that's how you kind of pay yourself. Awesome. Yeah, that's such a hack. That's incredible. Paying yourself with cash back. That's so sick.
What's the biggest cashback payment you got?
It was probably like 4K from like the sneaker days back then, but last month I got 2.6K from Chase off like a sign up bonus, and then like the points that I converted to dollars.
Nice. What's the biggest Rakuten?
That was it. 4K.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
That's wild. Are you worried about getting your account? Well, not that this has happened to a lot of people, but a couple people have gotten accounts there's some wishy-washy stuff going on in terms of Rakuten not paying out balances. Are you ever worried about that at all?
No, I know plenty of people who've gotten like clipped, like big sneaker guys. You basically just have to hop on like a call or like email their support, tell them what you're doing reselling. They don't care about resellers at all. Like I know plenty of people who've gotten their accounts back, and then you just like provide proof that you're reselling online. Like maybe it's eBay or Amazon or whatever you're doing. You just tell them.
Yeah.
So they're more worried about people who are like scammy or
fraudulent stuff.
I see.
What would be like your top 3 cashback websites that you use?
Rakuten, Top Cashback, and Be Frugal are basically all I run.
Gotcha.
Yeah, love it. Be Frugal is my personal favorite.
I like them because they have like the highest amount. I just don't think they pay out as much as the other two.
In terms of the percentage, or
their percentage is the best for like the actual payouts. Like sometimes I get like declined or whatever on a transaction, or
Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, I haven't had that issue too much, but maybe I need to look deeper into it. I've also noticed that Be Frugal, they'll pay out quicker. As Rakuten, it's like once a quarter, but Be Frugal, I can kind of request it faster, which I like.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's stay on that topic for a second, because you mentioned it briefly earlier. Discounted gift cards, cash back, site-wide sales, and all that stuff. What's your philosophy on how you manufacture margin to make a lead profitable? Or if you're looking at something, how do you determine if, I should move on from this, it's not good, or I should dig a little deeper because I can find a few extra bucks?
Yeah, let's start with the manufacturer margin thing. First off, there's like 2 ways of sourcing, in my opinion. One is like the site-wide sales and like all the big sales that you kind of have to hammer in OA. And then the other version, I guess, is during like the down periods when there is no sales, there is no holidays, and you have to like do all the nitty-gritty work of finding things. And that's obviously the harder part. The site-wide sales, it's like there's plenty of stuff if you look hard enough. even like in plain sight on these big retailers where you can make a lot of money. But the hardest part is like the nitty gritty work in between the site-wide sales. And for that, that's where you have to like be really good at manufacturer margin. So like maybe it's an evergreen discount code. Maybe it's like a email or text sign-up code you have to loop to get an extra 10 to 15, 20% off. Knowing if sites allow you to like stack coupons is massive. Like that's how you add extra margin to your bottom line. Just by getting like an extra 10% off your entire order, that's huge. Discounted gift cards, like that's the same thing where it's like you can get anywhere from like 2 to 10% off per order, which is ridiculous. That's just how you guarantee you have a better buy cost than your competition. And then if anything were to tank, you're still technically protected because you have a better buy cost. You know.
What kind of sales are you looking at right now, or what sales do you have your eyes on kind of going into like the spring, summer?
Yeah, I'm so probably at least half my catalog still shoes and apparel. Like that's what I know the best. That's what I like the best. That's my personal interest, right? So I just look at stuff like that. So like flip flops are going to be solid, shorts are going to be good, things of that nature. Like last summer, I sold over 1,000 shorts of like one listing, but like different variations.
That's sick. That's incredible.
And that's a hack right there too, because a lot of people, they will find a good ASIN and there's variations on the listing, but then they won't hunt to find all of the other variations as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's when you find profit, there is a high likelihood that there is profit right next to it, and you just got to kind of keep finding that rabbit trail.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you're still in college, right?
Yeah, I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore in college, and you spent $90,000 on inventory last month.
Yeah.
So talk to me about what it's like balancing that, what it's like being a student and also running at this point $1 million plus business.
Yeah, it's kind of, if I'm being honest, on the back burner. C's get degrees, as I like to say. And I'm like pacing myself through the associates because I think I'm only going to do the associates and be done. I'm at a community college right now.
Okay.
So I have this semester and like a few more classes and I'm probably done from college. But yeah, I just pace myself and do what I have to pass. And then it's like the business takes priority. So if there's a homework that needs to be done or a site-wide sale, I'm hitting the site-wide sale first.
How does your family and friends react to that?
Yeah.
My family's pretty used to it. Like we're all entrepreneurs. Like my mom like ran like a convenience store or whatever. And then my 2 older brothers, they're pretty successful as well. The oldest one runs like a local detailing business. And then the one that's 1 year above me or older than me, he's like killing it, like absolutely killing it. He does like marketing or whatever.
Got it. So you're just a family of killers.
Yeah. So it's pretty normal at this point.
Got it. Okay, that's nice because I know a lot of people, they can face resistance there, and sometimes, for good reasons too. It's all good intentions.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that could be an interesting situation to be if you were doing that without the family support. And then obviously too, you hired your sister as well, so it's a family business.
Yeah, we're good. Well, I have a little brother too. He's 5. He's gonna be super rich.
Do you get competitive with your older brothers at all about business goals and things like that?
Yeah, so the oldest one I'm crushing, so that's good. He's 5 years older than me. But the one 1 year above me, he's like absolutely killing me right now. So I have to like bring up other things like I'm still better than you at basketball, blah blah blah,
So what does that look like? You guys just like at family events, everyone pulls out the profit and loss statement and then
he actually sends me his P&L at the end of every month just to let me know he's still killing me.
That's hilarious.
I absolutely love that. That's great.
Sibling rivalry. It's so great. Now, what makes you like excited, like going forward into this year? Like you've already built the business. Like what are like your next steps that you're looking at, and like what gets you really excited?
What gets me really excited is that like I watched the snowball of my like capital absolutely compound last year from like a little bit of money to a ton of money. Like I made close to 6 figures last year net, and I just know going into this year, I have a lot more money, and that snowball is only going to continue to get bigger. I have like other projects I'm working on as well. And recently what I really wanted to do, or I made my mind up on, is I want to do private label like really bad. So I made another bank account to, funnel as much money as possible into that to put into private label. So
Nice.
I'm back in absolute grind mode to like make as much money as humanly possible.
That's fun. That's really fun. And I remember when me and Kaj did private label and those days of like, looking up stuff, getting excited about the potential of this product and like what you can get it for, what you can sell it for. I remember those days were very exciting for us and will probably be exciting for us once we get there. We just haven't gotten there yet for private label. But that's so exciting. Any other projects besides like private label? I see you're pretty active on like Twitter with like running a Discord right now, having a ton of people in there. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was awesome. I launched that, I think, last week now. There's like over 300 Amazon sellers in there. So it's awesome. We did a call with Sawyer. I did like an interview and like an open Q&A. It was like 40 to 50 people in there, and like most of them stayed the entire time, which was awesome. Awesome. I just dropped in there last night. I was just hanging out while I was doing some checkouts. There was like 20 or 30 people in there. Like, it's just awesome, like building a community. And then I'm doing a little bit of coaching as well too. So it's good to get people in there.
Nice. How long have you been doing coaching for? And like, what are your cohorts look like?
Yeah. So I've been doing it for right around 6 weeks now. So, and then we have like 6 students.
Nice. Awesome. Love that.
That is really cool.
So you talked about private label, and it sounds like it's kind of on the back burner. Are you trying to launch a product this year, or is that just at whenever you find something good? Like, what's your timeline for that?
I don't exactly have a timeline for it, but I just know like going forward, I want to make a ton of money in OA and like the entire Amazon space, and then go all in on private label, or at least that's my where my head's at now, because I just want something that's mine. I want to be able to build something really, really cool that's like exitable, or even if it's not exitable, at least it's mine, at the end of the day.
Right. 100%. What is your revenue and profit goal for 2024?
Yeah, I want to do 2 million in revenue, and then I want to do like 400K all in with everything I'm doing.
Okay. Love that.
Love that.
Josh, you have that one question that I like.
Oh gosh. Can you ask it?
We'll edit this part out. It was the one about was there a time that
okay, that dang it. I was about to say it too. All right, was there ever a time you thought about quitting Amazon just because everything was like going up in smoke, or was it all pretty much smooth sailing for you?
No, actually around this time last year in February, I got an IP complaint from a brand, and my account health went from like 200 whatever down to literally 0. And
whoa.
Yeah, they were withholding my payments and everything. And I was probably doing like 25K a month at this point. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get this off. I don't know what I'm going to do. Right. But luckily, like I was buying from like actual retailers and like good places. So I just had to reach out to the person who was in charge of the brand on Amazon. I had to submit my invoices and they retracted it.
Nice.
But
how long did that take?
Like 2 weeks.
Okay. 2 weeks.
Well,
that's not too bad.
It was partially my fault. I didn't know what to do for like the first week.
That's half the battle, knowing what to do.
That is half the battle.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you got an IP complaint and they held your how do you remember how much was in the Amazon reserve balance that they were holding?
It was probably like 10 or 15. It was probably like 10K, I think.
I mean, that's still a decent chunk of change when you think about it.
Yeah.
Especially if you were doing, you said 25K a month at that point.
Yeah,
that's like, and you were also all cash too, so you weren't even using credit.
Yeah.
So it's just like that would have been such a huge blow.
Yeah. So I was like, maybe I should go back to StockX, Go, and eBay. That was treating me so well. Why'd I have shiny object syndrome and switch over? Because that was like 2 months after I made like the full switch, or maybe like a month after. But yeah,
but
it was tough.
You didn't give up. You kept going. You solved the problem, and look where you are now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? If you're listening to this and you're facing whatever, the Section 3 and IP complaint, there are so many people who have gotten through it, and you just have to keep pushing. And even, if it's a situation where, again, sometimes it's not 100% beatable, but most of the time it is, there's still always another way that you can pivot in business, whether that's another platform, whether it's a slightly different business model. There's always a way to keep pushing forward. Problems are overcomable. So you just have to have that mentality and just keep pushing forward.
Yep. 100%.
Absolutely. All right, Sadeq, where can people find you online, and how can they, what platforms are you on currently?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and it's just my name, Sadeq Wahab. And yeah, I'll answer anyone. I go through the request. I make sure everyone gets their questions answered in my DMs.
Awesome. That's great. Well, Sadeq, we appreciate having you on. And for all the viewers out there, thank you for listening. And please like and subscribe if you listened all the way through, and follow Sadeq on Twitter. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.